Hello everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Now on April the 30th I posted a video about my Ecuagenera unboxing of last month, which was quite a catastrophe since 6 out of 13 plants arrived in terrible shape or were just plainly dead. So I sent some pictures to Ecuagenera and they kindly agreed to replace those 6 plants for free. Now, in the box you see here, there are not only the 6 free replacement plants, but also 6 extra new philodendrons that I ordered, which makes a total of 12 plants. By the way, the yellow sticker on the box means that the German customs opened the box, so I hope they didn't bother my plants too much. And here you can see, by the way, the list with the 12 plants that I got today. Now you can see that the box is actually already more or less open. So the German customs, no doubt looking for something else apart from houseplants coming from South America, didn't bother to reseal the box, which is slightly worrying, and I really hope that they didn't damage any of the plants. Now the first plant, which is the philodendron strictum, is a new plant that I ordered, so it's not one of the free replacement plants. And this plant seems to be in great shape. I count 7 big healthy leaves in total. And you can also see several new growing points, so that's reassuring. And you can also see that at the top of the plant they cut off a part. And this top of the plant that you can see here that's left, I will cut it off and try and propagate it as a wet stick. And that should be not a problem. So I would say we are off to a good start because this first plant looks great and I think it won't be a problem to keep it alive. Here we have the second plant, which is the philodendron veru capetiolum. And this is one of the 6 replacement plants because the first specimen that I got in April arrived in a really terrible shape. And I have to say this second specimen doesn't look much better because just look at those 2 leaves. I mean, this yellow, brown and green might look nice on a national flag of some exotic country, but they are definitely no good colors on a philodendron. And then the icing on the cake is this brown rotting growing point that tells me that this plant should actually perhaps just stay in the Amazonian rainforest, where no doubt it will be way happier than inside my apartment. So the conclusion here for this second plant is that this philodendron just seems to ship horribly, and I don't think I will order it again. Now over to the next plant, the third plant. This is the philodendron geniculatum, a plant native to Colombia, and this is also a free replacement plant that Ecuagenera sent me, since the first specimen that I got in April lost all of its leaves during the shipping and it died 2 days after it arrived at my place. But the good news is that this replacement plant actually looks great. It's a big specimen, as you can see, and I'm counting more or less 6 big healthy leaves. And on top of that, a nice red new growing point that's working on a new leaf. So I would say this is a worthy replacement for the first specimen that died on me. Now let's have a look at the fourth plant, which is the philodendron queleli round. This is a new plant that I ordered and I must say it looks great. All 4 leaves look very healthy. Just look at that beautiful veining on them. And these leaves can actually get very big. It's a plant native to Ecuador, if I'm not mistaken, and I must say I'm quite happy with this specimen. So up till now, 3 out of 4 plants that we saw were actually in good shape, which I think is not a bad score. The 5th philodendron is the philodendron geniculatum. This is a name I will only pronounce once because it's a real tongue twister. And apart from this dead leaf that obviously came off, this plant also survived the shipping quite well. It has at least 4 big healthy leaves, and when you take a closer look at the petioles on this plant, you can see that they are actually quite furry, a little bit like the petioles on the philodendron serpens. And in the back you can see, by the way, a healthy new growing point. So I would say this plant is in a pretty good shape, and I think it will survive the shipping without any problem. Now over to the sixth plant, which is the philodendron pseudo-auriculatum, which is again a terribly difficult name. This is a new plant that I ordered, and apart from this yellowing leaf at the bottom that I will surely lose, this plant actually looks quite stunning. It's a huge specimen, it has 5 big healthy leaves to work with, and even the newest leaf, which is the light green one on top, survived the shipping. And by the way, look at all those very long aerial roots on this plant. That's just crazy. So overall, I must say I'm very pleased with this specimen too. Now the seventh plant, which is the philodendron insignia purple, is quite a posh plant. Not as much when you look at it from the top, but when you have a closer look at the bottom of the leaves, you will see these beautiful purple colors. It's a little bit like the colors on the philodendron subhastatum. On this plant I see 4 big healthy leaves and a nice growing point. So I think everything will be fine with this plant. By the way, those leaves are quite succulent, which means that probably this plant loves to dry out completely before it should be watered again. Now let's have a look at plant number 8. Plant number 8 is a replacement plant. This is the philodendron Annum number 5. The first specimen I got in April was really in a terrible shape, with all of its leaves dead or yellowing. But this one here looks actually much better. You can see it has 5 healthy trilobed leaves, and it's currently even working on a new leaf also. And I've been told that this is a very fast climber, so we will see. But as far as I can tell, this plant should do just fine. Now over to the next one. Plant number 9 is also a replacement plant. This is the philodendron pulchrom. The first specimen that I got in April was a tiny little plant with almost all of its leaves dead or falling off. But once again, this second specimen that I got today looks really great. Although it's still quite small, this time at least I got more or less 6 healthy leaves and a nice growing point. By the way, pulchrom is Latin for beautiful, and I think that suits this plant just perfectly. The next plant I want to show you is once again a free replacement plant that Ecuagenera offered me. The first one they sent me had terribly stained leaves and was not healthy overall. But this second specimen seems in much better shape. I can see 3 big healthy leaves, no stains on them this time around, so I think that this plant should be just fine. Now if I'm not mistaken, this was plant number 10, so we have 2 more plants to go. So plant number 11 is the last of the 6 replacement plants I got from Ecuagenera. This is the philodendron furcatum. The first one I got hardly had any viable leaves, but this new specimen looks way more promising. I just put it on a vase, otherwise it would fall over. And you can see it has 3 big leaves that do have a slight yellowing color, so we will have to wait and see. But the good thing is it has a nice green growing point. So even if I would lose the 3 current leaves, this plant just may survive regardless. Although this is a very difficult philodendron because it needs a lot of humidity to feel happy. So we will have to wait and see if this plant survives. Now the final plant I want to show you, that's plant number 12. This is the philodendron ohenze, which is another tongue twister name. It's a new plant that I ordered, and it's not only beautiful, but it's also healthy. It has 4 nicely deep green leaves with gorgeous veining, and on top of that a healthy growing point. So I think this plant will be just fine. So in conclusion, out of the 12 plants that I ordered, 11 plants will be just fine and only 1 plant will probably not make it. So 11 out of 12 is a pretty good score for Ecuagenera, I would say, so I'm quite pleased. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.